So the ratio of judges to the population in this country is something which has been a point of concern. What is the efficiency of a judge in this country, considering there is huge pendency of cases in Indian courts?
The ratio as it is abysmal as far as the required ratio or the optimal ratio is concerned. Now, to compound that also, there are problems of lack of infrastructure, lack of typists, lack of judges in court. Enough judges are not appointed timely. So many courts remain vacant for long periods of time. That all compounds the problem. One feature which I feel also is very, very important is the disposal by a judge. If the judge is not decisive, there are a lot of people, who can't decide, who, are, who may hear two sides of the argument and then feel that they don't know what is right and what is wrong, and they are not able to take a call, and then the judge ends up adjourning the matter. We need to weed out such kind of judges. We must have more decisive judges in the system. I have seen personally, as far as Supreme Court is concerned, the judges who read the brief and come are the ones who are able to dispose of far more number of matters in a day than the judges, some of the judges who don't read their brief and come. Now, reading the brief also has its own limitation. For a judge to read 60 briefs, page to page, is a humongous task. A judge has to do all that at his residence before he comes to court when the matters are called. The thing which is being done now, and that is a little thing of concern, that judges are relying upon the law clerks who make notes with regard to each brief. Now, reliance upon a note of a law clerk can be very dangerous. It's a very smart law clerk who knows the law, who has that maturity to understand what is the exact case in that particular matter. So be it. But if it is almost impossible to conceive a young lawyer who has just passed law or 1 year into law, to think what is the right thing as far as Supreme Court briefs are concerned. So if you have read the brief, or if you have not read the brief, read the note, then the judge should definitely hear the counsels a little patiently and ensure that they don't do injustice merely by reading the note and not having read the brief. So it's a difficult issue. It's an issue which the system is grappling with. But even in the high courts, you will find a lot of judges who are not able to finish their board on a regular basis, whereas others are able to finish their board and start regular hearing also on a daily basis. And this, if you do this study all over the country, you can handpick judges who decide matters, large number of matters daily, vis-a-vis judges who just do 2, 3 or 5 matters in a day, and the rest of the matters are simply getting adjourned. That identification is very important in the country to ensure that those who are not deciding matters are either, I don't know how to, if a judge has already been appointed, there is no way to remove him. But definitely there should be an internal system within the judiciary to sensitize him about this problem of his as far as dealing with matters are concerned, and to pace up things as far as justice delivery is concerned. But lastly, I must tell you that even with all these problems in our system, with all these shortcomings in our system, our disposal rate, per judge disposal rate, is one of the highest in the world, and that we should be proud of. I mean, the judges are doing a humongous task in disposing the numbers of matters they end up disposing, and that is something which is admirable. But that is only because the ones who are actually disposing of the matters. If the other judges who are not disposing of matters also started doing the same, probably the disposal would have been double of what actually is happening today. So I think it's a very important issue which the Chief Justice of India should flag, try and collect data of various high courts, try and identify judges who are disposal oriented and who decide matters. The judges who have a good, basics, the first principles of law. And when I say first principles of law, civil has different first principles and criminal has different first principles, commercial has different first principles. So if you are dealing with a civil matter, your first principles, the foundation should be good. If that foundation should be good. If you're doing with a criminal matter, the foundation of criminal law should be good. Similarly for commercial matters. If the judge who is handling the matter, his foundational first principles are good, and if he reads the brief, he'll be able to dispose of far more matters than the judge who is not good in the first principles. And that is another area where the judges, while in the collegium, when they select people for the higher judiciary, should ensure that a judge should be good in the first principles, because nobody can know the entire law. It's impossible for every judge to know in the entire law. In fact, I know of several Supreme Court judges and even Chief Justices telling me that before coming to Supreme Court, I had not done a large number of areas which I have done for the first time in my life in Supreme Court. So everybody learns on a daily basis in our profession. But if you're good in the first principles, you'll pick up very fast. If you're not good in first principles, then you will not pick up. So that's the mantra: good in first principles and decisive. If we are able to identify such people for the future selections, we'll be doing a great service for the justice delivery system in this country.
Thank you, sir.